Running 101.
Running 101.
Running 101.
Hello everyone, I'm Nads and welcome to another episode of Running 101. Hoping everyone is well, not stressing too much about their miles given the recent temperatures that we've had to work with. It'll just be a matter of time before you'll be complaining about the rain and not having to get out there enough because it's just wet and sluggish all over the place. So, remember that. Not much of an update from me, but what I would like to say is once again, thank you for the feedback off the back of our recent episode, which focused predominantly on mental health. If I were to be totally honest, it really hit home, and I'm not sure about you, but I, for one, stepped away with a lot to reconsider in regard to some of the priorities we set for ourselves. We represent a community, sometimes multiple communities. What do we know about who might be suffering and battling? These are things that can't be logged on Strava, if you get my point. My personal takeaway was to focus more on how I feel rather than how I performed. Don't get me wrong, it's not wrong to monitor, observe, and compare your performance, but we could always focus a little more on our emotional and mental health. Those were Saad's words. So today we have with us a runner who is well known in their own as well as the broader running community too. Their running journey started in 2017, and I'd probably say that they are not at all shy of long distance running, having completed multiple marathons around the world. I mean, they only went and got their World Major 6-star medal earlier this year when they ran the Boston Marathon 2026, making it their 7th overall star. A teacher by profession, a cheerleader for many, an inspiration for us all. Iffath, welcome to Running 101.
Hi guys, Assalamu alaikum. Thank you for having me.
Walaikum salam, how are you? How's it going?
I'm good, alhamdulillah. Hope you're good and everyone listening is good.
Yeah, no, likewise. Firstly, just going to say thank you for putting some time aside. We've been discussing this on and off for some time now. That's kind of becoming the norm of what I say to everyone because it just takes a while to plan everything. But no, thank you so much for coming forward. And another thing that I'm going to start with saying is congratulations. I mean, I'm sure that's what you get to hear nonstop. But yeah, from Running 101, a big congratulations for your achievement earlier this year. How does that feel?
Thank you. I feel like so happy that I've got lots of people who recognize that it is a pretty big deal, and just really happy for me. So no, really appreciate it, but also relieved that I'm done in that sense. And now I don't need to go hardcore with training or anything like that.
I mean, of course, it's a big deal. I mean, the amount of work, the amount of effort, the amount of planning, the amount of resourcing you have to do, the list goes on, right? But the amount that you must have had to entail and just get down and put pen to paper with before the running comes along is it's immense.
Yeah. And I've obviously with me, I've done it quite quickly compared to quite a few people. And so I just feel blessed I managed to do it in such a short time. And I was fit enough to do it in such a short time.
Absolutely. No, one thing that you did just bring up over there in regards to time, having started in 2017, you gave yourself a good while in the running world before you decided to go ahead and go for it in 2022. Is that right?
Yeah. So I say 2017 is when I started running, but I ran once that year. But that one time I ran it set the standard for me because that basically became the point of where I wanted to beat my PBs.
Right.
So that's why I do count it. Even though it was only it was only 5K for the whole of the year.
Oh, a run is a run, isn't it? It doesn't matter how long
and
it is.
then I think 2018, 2019, I think I did about 10K that entire year. So I do count it as 2017. Because I'm one of those where I'm happily run. I don't I'm quite sporty, so the getting out there isn't the hard part necessarily. But marathon running started in 2022. So yeah, in the last 4 years, I've done the majors quite quickly, and part of it was because I'm in this moment of I'm fit enough and I've got the desire to run long distance and I'm
Sure.
essentially good enough. I was like, let me get it done while I still enjoy it.
No, absolutely agree with that. Even if it was the first run, it's what got you started. It's what made you think, I can keep doing this, I can keep going, and yeah, bring it on. So before we get into marathon running, why don't you tell us a bit about yourself?
So I actually asked my nieces, what facts would you say about Cuckoo Auntie? And they were like, oh, they actually first said runner. And I was like, oh, that's nice. But I'm a teacher by profession. Um, I'm sibling number 3. I'm also a sports coach outside of teaching. My family are all educators, all into sport. I have so many hobbies. It's unbelievable. I've got
Why
like
don't you
5
name a
different
few?
I've got 5 different Instagram accounts. So if people are like, oh, yeah, if people think I post a lot on my running one, I've got a henna one, I've got a food one, I've got a bullet journaling one, I've got one for K-pop.
I can just
Um,
imagine so many people saying, "Oh my God, you think you know someone," and then they drop a
yeah.
bombshell like that.
And I keep all my hobbies and communities quite separate in that sense.
Good show.
But yeah, I'm quite confident, I would say. I like being a social butterfly. I do obviously enjoy my own company as well. But yeah, essentially that's me, and I'm also obviously proud to be unapologetically Muslim and Bengali and brown. And I try and make an effort to, I guess, put that out there now with social media.
Would I be accurate to say you're one of 2 Bengali British women who have got the 6-star medal?
Yes, and the other one being my lovely friend Sonwara Afa.
Mhm.
And there isn't anyone from Bangladesh who's female who's done the 6 stars. There's only one male from Bangladesh. Everybody else were all basically British Bengalis. But yeah, there's only 2 females, me and Sonwara Afa.
Right? No, I get once again, well done on that, and congratulations. So, Ifad, let's start with talking about where the running started or where it came from.
So me and my friendship circle were quite keen on like improving ourselves and being the best versions of ourselves. And we in 2017 Hackney Half had like the free 5K, and I told my girls, let's just sign up to it. We can all train individually. So I don't live near my friends, so we like all trained individually. None of us trained because we didn't know what training meant. And then we turned up to the race. I actually enjoyed it. They all stopped running, but I was like, oh, this is nice. But I couldn't run 1 kilometer continuously yet. So it was like one walk the entire 5K.
Right, got it.
And I was trying to look for a pacer that's like my ability, but the slowest pacer was 35 minutes.
Oh,
And that's when it hit me. I was like, oh, I'm slow. I was like, they don't even have a pacer for me. So then that's when the next year I did a random race again. I did a run continuously again still. I did
Was
a
that
PB.
2018, right?
Yeah, 2018. And
Got
then
it.
2019, same thing. And 2020, basically, I got really big during COVID, like super big. And so big that my own brother didn't recognize me on the streets. So that's when I was like, I need to sort myself out. And I didn't know about the Couch to 5K program or anything like that. But because I believed I was 40, I was like, I'm just going to run every day until I can run continuously.
Yeah, that drove you.
Yeah, so then it took me about 18 days for me to be able to run 5K continuously, but it took me 52 minutes. 52 minutes.
But 18 days is great.
Everything I was like, I'm just going to run a bit further. I'm just going to run a bit further. So yeah, 52 minutes. And then I worked on speed. And I managed, obviously in my head, I was like, oh, I need to get to 35 minutes because that's the standard apparently in these races. And so by the end of July, alhamdulillah, I did, with the help of my friend, get to sub 35. And yeah, I was super happy with that. And I was like, and I just really enjoyed running. I would run to Tesco, get a sweet, and then run back.
Does anyone want any groceries? Just tell me what you need. I'll go and
Yeah.
get it.
and stuff. And I did end up losing a good stone and a half. Um, and so after I lost the weight, it then became I just enjoyed running. Um, and I do feel like if like now it's just become a lifestyle. Back then it was like for health reasons I had to lose weight. I didn't want to go to the gym or anything like that. My area doesn't have female only gyms or anything. Um, so I thought, you know what, let me just do this. I knew I could run back in 2017. Um, so yeah, that's how the running started. Yeah.
What you already mentioned one thing. I mean, obviously, you like we discussed, you started in 2017. Even regardless of how many runs it was, one or like 100, it doesn't really matter. You started. One thing that you just mentioned there, which was the the pacer was a minimum of like what was the lowest was 35 minutes for
Yeah.
a 5K. I'm just thinking, taking that as the starting point, what difference have you noticed in the running world since 2017? Given that was one of that's a big change for me. I mean, 35 minutes is just average, right? I mean, like had to have a pacer for that, but given that and where we are today, almost 10 years later, how have things changed in the running world?
So I think so obviously the average for women is I think about 32 minutes now. And for men it tends to be sub 30 for 5K. I think now that we have so I didn't know Park One existed, so I know
Hmm.
there's Park Ones out there. And I think so certain Park Ones do have pacers. Um and there's lots of more inclusive events where the time is more than 35 minutes. And you can get help with that as well. And um but back then I didn't realize that like that it was considered slow apparently. But now I think because everyone is getting into the running, organizers are forced to somewhat cater towards the back of the pack. And the run walk. So, for example, even in MR or in other organizations, we always have like a run walk or walking system. Even in park runs, I think they've had to cater towards more people now because essentially it's more about movement
Hmm.
than the actual speed itself. Um, and so yeah, that's been great. So now, like, if it'll be definitely different. I think anyone can go into a race and not feel like, oh, I'm slow. They'll see someone's always going to be at the back, so we have to face that. But there's more people who'll be surrounding you. You won't be just by yourself now.
Apart from pace and looking out for someone who's back of the pack, like you mentioned, and no shame in being back of the pack. One thing you mentioned there is that it's all about the movement, which it absolutely is. Strong believer in that. Apart from that, anything else that you think has changed when it comes to like society or our communities out there?
I think so. Obviously, when I first started running, or just generally when I've done sports, because I've always been sporty, I've kind of I was used to being like the only hijabi in places, and in my area, I definitely still am because I live in a white area, so it's pretty much the same. But it's so refreshing to see a visibly Muslim women and men
The
uh,
representation.
with the representation, and just generally brown folks as well, and also a lot of our people doing well. And
Mm,
this might
no
be
doubt.
quite controversial for me to say because obviously it's great that people run, but for me, I love seeing our people on podiums, um, because I sometimes find it a bit patronizing that people accept us to just be doing park runs and to just enter the sport at the beginner level. Well, actually, there's so many of us who are pretty good who can compete at that level. So refreshing to see, ultra runners, or people being at the top being super fast, women or men. Um, and it's nice seeing that change because let's face it, back in the day, they all look the same.
Yeah.
um and we just didn't know about these access routes and the fact that we can do it as well. So that's been really refreshing, and the encouragement to do that as well has been really refreshing as well.
Not just taking part, but excelling as well. That's what you mean,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Any challenges that you faced yourself personally?
Firstly, I'm a woman, so our challenge is, for me, a really big one is when I'm on my periods. I really struggle to run. I really like. I think last week, like my Strava graph went all the way down because I missed the whole week because I just couldn't move. Um, and I get really emotional on race days and stuff. I had like a breakdown in Tokyo. So obviously that sort of stuff bothers me and lots of other women in my area. So my area is mainly conservative and reform.
You can give a
Um,
shout out to your area if you want.
no, it's okay. I still work here. So conservative and reform, and
Fair.
I always have to be cautious about running and where I'm running. You can imagine last summer when they put the flags up, I didn't run in my area. So if you look on my Strava, people think I'm from like Central London, East London, because I'm always there running. Because these days I feel more safe running in Central London and East London, surrounded by my people, than in my own area, a mile away from my house.
Mm.
Because I've got headphones in, and the main reason why I have headphones in is because I don't want to listen to what they're saying to me. There should be absolutely no reason for catcalling me. I'm completely covered. Um, but whatever they're saying, whether it's patronizing or mimicking my running or saying something racist, I like there's always something being said. Um, so that has been a real challenge because I'm still gonna run because I feel like if I don't run, I'm letting them win.
Mm.
Um, but it's also getting the right balance of safety as well. So I don't run in the dark, obviously, and if I do, everyone in the world knows about it and they're tracking me. Or I will drive down somewhere and run in an area I'm more comfortable with. Um, so that's been, I'll say, my biggest challenges. I'm really blessed that my family are very supportive, my extended family are very supportive. Um, but yeah, that's essentially it. And obviously I've had like injuries, but that's only been a challenge because I started running in the first place.
Sure, of course,
Um,
of course. Yeah.
but and when I've been injured, it's just been slightly heartbreaking that I've not been able to run. Um, and I just gotta like check myself and just be grateful that I can still walk and do all sorts still. So yeah, those have been my main challenges.
Apologies that you've had to deal with things like that. Because to be honest, I mean, because we mentioned one thing there, which was representation and how good it is to see that we're represented, whether that be by other sisters out there, other ladies out there, men out there too. But it's a shame when you feel like your own local area or society, culture or community might be like letting you down at the same time too, right? I'm sure battling that is quite challenging from a mental state of it too.
Yeah, definitely. And it's like you're always overthinking, and my parents get worried. They're like, "Are you sure?" And I take training quite seriously. I'm not going to be someone who just turns up. So I'm like, I need to get my runs in.
Hmm.
And it's like, how do I manage it? And it can like even if I do go to Central, it can be costly.
Of course,
Um,
yeah, no doubt it is.
so it's a shame that I can't run locally as much as I want to. It ebbs and flows. It depends on what the situation of the climate is. Like last summer,
Hmm.
when all the flags were up. Um, but recently it's been okay. But then the other day I had an incident with my nieces where I had a bunch of young white kids try and take pictures of us. Um, and I had to get my brothers involved. Uh, so then obviously my family's like, you're not going out. And I'm a
Hmm.
grown woman. So they're like, you're not going out, you're not running by yourself. Um, and like even yeah, so it's hard getting used to. Um, and I'm very blessed that it's not gone on the extreme end.
Sure.
Like I'm reading all my duas when I'm running.
Of course, no doubt. No, well, once again, sorry to hear that, but I'm glad that you've been able to work around it, find an alternative, and still make it happen. I guess that's in hindsight, that's probably what you fall back on, right?
Yeah.
So let's deep dive into your marathons, actually. So the 6 star, what brought that on? I mean, that's what state of mind do you start with where you're just getting to grips of running in 2017, just building your way up year on year, just working your way forward? So bring on 2022. How do we get started?
So 2022 was 2020, when I started running, was a hard year, and so I had a heartbreak. I was meant to get married. It didn't work out. Put on a lot of weight. My mum got cancer. My nan passed away, and running gave me, I guess, the structure I needed. Like, it's gonna sound really pathetic, but when you're finding it difficult to breathe, you forget about the rest of it. Because I was like, I can't even breathe right now. So and even like you can imagine, after every long run, my legs are in pain. The actual physical aspect of it kind of took away from everything else that's happening. And I generally liked marathon training itself. And so in 2022, I was running the London Marathon for the first time, genuinely for my mum. Alhamdulillah, she survived, and Macmillan Cancer helped us. So I was genuinely doing it for my mum, for charity. And I had, because I wasn't going for a time or anything like that. And so I wasn't working. I was looking after my mum. All I had to do was look after my mum and run. I had the best day ever. London Marathon was genuinely the best day ever for me.
Sure.
I didn't hit a wall. It was so much fun. Obviously, I was in pain afterwards, but it was so amazing for me. And I just remember I actually enjoyed the training more.
So is it the structure and the discipline of it?
And I think for me, I always felt like I was making progress, and not necessarily
Right,
in terms
okay.
of speed, but the fact that I could run further, the fact that my breathing was getting better. Because I went from someone who couldn't run 1K to, when you do your first marathon, like every week
Yeah.
you're running longer, and it's like, oh wow, and everything I struggled with, it didn't matter because my mum was going through worse. And like progress like came in so many different like formats. I could start having conversations while running, because obviously when I first started, nothing was easy for me. So I always saw myself as moving forward with running. Like, it was something I genuinely thought I was good at, and I didn't care about time at all. And then I fundraised quite a lot as well, so I was really happy with that. I had the best time, and then afterwards I was like, oh, they're more like this. And then my friend told me about Chicago, and she said, oh, like there's a ballot. And so I applied, and I got the ballot, and I was like,
Oh,
this is God's
excellent.
sign. I'm meant to do it. So the first marathon was for my mom, and the second one I was like, I'm going for time. This time I'm gonna go for me. And then I realized no Bengali has done the 6 majors. And I was like,
Okay.
okay. And because I was on a high with these majors already, one of the, obviously it's a lot of money, but one of the differences about majors is the crowd, the environment, everything is epic. I need people to run. I can't run 700 lap of Battersea with no one cheering for me. With majors, you're always going to get your crowd.
Sure.
So that's why Chicago was amazing as well. So that's why I was like, oh, let me see how I can get into the others. And obviously by then I got in part of the community, and I could hear from other people, all these other majors. And that's when I was like, yeah, I'm gonna go for it. I worked part-time, so that helped as well. So I was like, oh, I can fly out, come back. And I love traveling as well, so now it was like, oh, I can do both. And yeah, so that's how it really started. Because I think I basically, it sounds so sad, but I do love the
Oh, not
marathon
at all.
distance. Like, it's probably my favorite distance. And part of it is everything that's involved. It makes me a better person, disciplined, and yeah, just enjoy it. And I think part of it is because you're meant to run 80% easy, so it's not like, I would rather run a marathon easy than race a 5K.
Right. Whoa, really? Oh, wow.
Yeah, like I do like long distance, but I I don't run continuously in training ever. Like, I will
Okay.
stop and get a slush puppy. Like, I'm not bothered. Yeah.
That's quite insightful to hear that coming from you, to be honest, Iffath, because obviously when I mentioned, going back to my introduction, when I mentioned that you're a cheerleader for many and an inspiration from us all, a lot of people could actually reflect on your experience so far. And the smallest things that you can share like that, which is, well, a plan is just a plan. And if I was to kind of go along the words that you just mentioned there, it's okay to kind of deviate from that, take a little break if you have to, take a little breather, and then jump back on it, right?
Yeah, like I always say, like your plan should fit around your life. Your plan shouldn't dictate your life. Um, and you just need to be like you need to prioritize. The certain thing I know I can pull it out the bag on race day. Um, and so that's why I'm just like, it's not the end of the world if I have to stop at a traffic light or if I give myself a little bit of a break. Um, but obviously I know that doesn't work for others. But for me, I can run longer because I've had those breaks. So when I did Chicago, I stopped every 5K and I walked when I had my water. And that was a method that worked for me. And I PB'd by 45 minutes. And everyone's like, you would have PB'd more if you didn't walk. But I would have not survived the rest of the 42K if I didn't have that fuel come in me. And it worked for me. And when you get into running, you hear about the Jeffing and all these other approaches. And I think I managed to survive doing all these marathons in such a short time because I've taken this approach. And I don't have any shame in I'm walking, I'm taking my time. Because I know that there's lots of people who are like, oh, they don't count. They look at people's elapsed time on Strava. My one's terrible all the time, and again, I don't care because on the race day I pull it out the bag, and it works for me. And I think everything it's always different for other people, but I would not have been able to do all these marathons if I was hell bent on running fast and running without stopping all the time.
So definitely you would say take it easy while you're training at least, right? I mean, on the day, yes, absolutely take it easy again too. Don't push yourself outside of what you've trained for. But while you're training, definitely take it easy so that you can get up and go again for the next day.
Yeah, there's no point killing yourself during training because you won't make it to race day. Obviously in the hard sessions, as we all know, like go hard, recover well. I think I made quite a few changes from my first marathon to my second. I now no longer ever run on a Monday. Like without fail, that will always be a rest day for me. I don't care if I miss my run on a Sunday or Saturday. Monday is my rest day. Like because I used to always try and catch up on my runs and try and follow the plan to a T. But it's just not feasible. And I think people think like people take pride in, oh, I didn't sleep and I ran this much. Sleep is part of your training. Fueling is part of your training. If you want to run long and run for a long time in life, you need to recover well and you need to sleep well and eat well. Not just be posting all your runs and posting about your lack of elapsed time and stuff.
One thing that we were going to touch on is the training, but I want a final question over there because you've shared it quite well. How much do you actually stick to your plan though?
So for me, if I'm attempting a PB, and so the last time I attempted a PB was for Berlin 2024, I'm quite good with sticking with my plan. It helps that I'm a teacher and I get 6 weeks off, so my peak training is in elite, like decent format. I probably would say I stick to my training probably about 80% if I'm going for a PB. And if I don't, it's because something major has happened, like someone's died, and I've got to be there for people. But everyone will know, like my family, my friends will know. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna see you for the next 4 months, because I'm getting a PB and I'm not going out to eat and all that sort of stuff. But when I'm not PBing, so from my 7 majors, most of them are not PB. I just get my mileage in. I don't do hard efforts. Like when I did Boston, my main aim was just to do hills. So I never did hard efforts. I didn't do intervals or anything like that. I was just like, I need to get my mileage in on hills. And I didn't follow necessarily a plan because by then I know how many ones I need to do, how much mileage I need to do. It was more about my mindset over hills. So yeah, when it's PBs, I go all in. And stuff. But you also shouldn't be PBing every year. One year I did 4 marathons. I'm obviously not going to PB in every single one of them. So it's just about being smart about how you structure your training across your 5-year plan or your 1-year plan. So yeah, that's essentially it for me.
You got the 6-star medal in 6 years, like we touched on in the beginning. What message do you think your achievement has put out there? or what message would you like everyone to perceive by your achievement there?
I think firstly that you can enjoy long distance running. I wouldn't have done it if I didn't enjoy it. And that by we, I mean Bengali Muslim females, we deserve to be in these spaces. And we should be in these spaces too. But it does require us to put our work in as well. Like I have only managed to get there because I can run that distance. It's not been handed to me on a plate like that. So if you want to get your 7 stars or 6 stars, you can put the work in. If I can go from a 52-minute 5K to my marathons, I think anyone can. And I've made probably I've met so many amazing individuals through these marathons across the world. And it's just been like so nice to be part of this community. So I definitely recommend it to anyone who wants to do it. And there needs to be it's you can't be what you can't see. And I would hope that because I've done it. And I post about it a lot. For every marathon, I'm posting about 19 times. So I would hope that people are like, you know what, I can do it too, or I can try at the very least. Because when I first started, I couldn't see that. But I'm one of those where that doesn't bother me. I'll happily be in a room full of all white men and act like it doesn't faze me. But I know other people need to see women like them, people paces like them. But yeah, you just need to put yourself out there, get the training done, and yeah, be there, because there's going to be someone, they might not be open about it, but there's going to be someone looking at you being inspired.
Yeah, absolutely. Couldn't agree more. When it comes to the running community, how has having that community aspect supported your running? How important has that played a part?
So it's a bit of a weird one, because when I did the London Marathon, I wasn't part of the community. And I had the best time. So I had the best time without the community. I had the best time doing all my runs solo. But then what I found afterwards was I was struggling to kind of maintain the training of like running 3 times. So that's when I thought, you know what, let me join communities. So at least it'll hold me like accountable. And especially as someone who wants to get faster, let me run with other people. I didn't realize how important the community will end up becoming. I am part of so many communities.
Would you like to give a quick shout out?
Yeah, so obviously we've got Muslim runners. There's just so many of you guys. You all give me so much love. I've met so many incredible humans from there. And honestly, everyone treats me like a celebrity, and I'm just like, oh wow, I don't feel like I deserve this. And we've got Tracksmith. And Tracksmith I love because it's not Muslims, it's not a certain ethnic group or anything like that. It's generally people who love running long and they turn up every Sunday. And they have generally made me a faster runner. And obviously I pace for Tracksmith now.
I have to say, you guys do that with some style though too. You all look amazing when you're out there.
Thank you. Amit has set up a really good system. And it just works, particularly when you're in the run up to a big marathon. Then I've got Aswa. Aswa is obviously a women's only club in East London, and it's just so nice to be surrounded by your own people and do your own thing. If you want to take off my hijab, I can. In Aswa, everything's genuinely Muslim orientated. So we'd start off with a dua and things like that. And then we've got soul striders, we've got outrunners. I'm everywhere, but I'm one of those, I'm sure everyone knows, like I would cheer for everyone.
Sure. Yep. Absolutely agree with that.
Yeah. And it's the thing with runners is like you could just scream and shout and we'll connect with each other's eyes on the course, and we'll support each other, we'll help each other out. Some of the Muslim runners I'm now good friends with, I genuinely only met them because I cheered for them during London Marathon. And then they reached out to me afterwards like, oh sis, thank you for cheering for me. So that's what I love about the running community. So as well as the actual individual communities that we have and I'm involved with, the generally wider community is also really great too.
Yeah, no, it's been great to touch base with so many people from all of these communities that you just mentioned. Probably affiliate myself mostly with the Muslim runners circle over there, having taken part in a few social runs, whether that be 5Ks or just met up with everyone at other events over the years as well. It's been great. Everyone keeps each other going. They've always giving you a pat on the back, so you've always got that supportive element, which does kind of drive you and push you to the next level, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I think for a lot of us, because we tend to be from ethnic backgrounds, our families are not the type to turn up to every single race. So it's so nice that we have each other, especially when it's like the 10K vitality and stuff like that. Like our families are not turning up with signs every single time because we run so much now. It's become such a norm. So it's nice that we all have each other. Um, and for me, it's like, oh, I'm going to get to see you guys. Or even if it's on the course, it's just nice and refreshing to, see our people and celebrate them.
Having spoken about community there, would you say it differs to the message that social media puts out there from time to time? I mean, there's pluses and minuses of everything that we do, right? But what would you say about the social media playing a part in all of this?
Um, for most of the people in MR, they can actually only probably know me because of my social media and my reels.
Oh yeah, yeah. The
Um,
Bollywood music goes a long way in any
yeah,
read, right?
exactly. And it's interesting. Most of my content is actually of the community. Um, up until I got my 6 stars. Before that, I didn't really post much about myself.
Hmm.
It was always about the community, and part of the reason why I did that because I found that for other people, that would get them out the door.
Sure. So, I mean, your content there, I would definitely say it's inspirational content that you have, which is just keeps you going, but keeps everyone else going as well. But what I was really trying to get to was when it's the message is normalizing a marathon, for example, what would you say about that?
Oh yeah, oh my God. Um, so yeah, social media can be a bit too much, I think.
Hmm.
And not just social media, even if you move it to like the WhatsApp chat groups and stuff, because you're getting so much information from everywhere, and whether it's influencers or whether it's brands, or I would suggest to people to tone it down, um, and just think, why are they running? Because I feel like a lot of people are wanting to become influencers or to get likes or to be considered fast. And none of that is sustainable. Marathons, obviously, that's my favorite distance, but I work with and I've coached and I've done couch to 5K programs with so many people who don't do that distance.
Yeah.
Um, and I always would recommend to them, it's just more about essentially being healthy, movement, and whatever you can do. Um, everyone does not need to be doing a marathon. And most importantly, if you are doing a marathon, you need to maybe start with the 5K, then a 10K, and just work your way up. I think there's a new craze with um, people making challenges seem like um, it's a good thing. Like, but like doing a marathon without any training is never going to be good for your body. Like one day down the line, you're going to regret it. It might be something to brag about, but it's not something you should do. But a lot of people online love doing this, and I hate that it influences so many newbies. Like newbies running in like carbon shoes and stuff like that. It's all of it's on social media. I always say to people, would you still run if you couldn't post about it? And if the answer is yes, then yes, I feel like you're running for the right reasons. But if you have to post about it and you're crying about Strava being down or Garmin being down or Instagram being down, I think people need to and like check themselves. And I say this as someone who posts a lot, you know. But I've also went my entire first few years of running with not being on social media. So I see the benefits of both. I can see why it's inspirational, but I can also see how it can be deceiving, especially for people who are not familiar with how much of an impact it can be on your body, and that's what sometimes people are forgetting.
Yeah, no, absolutely agree with you there. I think, Iffath, tell me if you'd agree or not. The world we live in right now, it's more about everyone trying to stay aligned or just playing catch up and just trying to keep up with everyone else. Is that right? Got a bit of FOMO of falling behind.
100%. Like somebody does this weird challenge where they're running across the entire country, and then someone's like, I need to beat that challenge. Like, for example, me running 4 marathons in 1 year. Firstly, I've trained for it. Secondly, people are unaware of the reasons why I'm having to do that so quickly. But then now people, like somebody might be like, oh, I want to beat that. It's like it might not necessarily work for you. But yeah, they just see so many things online. And I think the whole branding doesn't help as well. Like so many people are obsessed with, I guess, brand deals or being recognized rather than just being happy by themselves. So yeah, it's definitely a FOMO approach. I thought, like, I don't know, I'm gonna say this because I've posted about this 100 times, but like the night after that one, there's so many people. I didn't think it was a great one. Um, Obviously cis men were there, and there's lots of problems with it. I don't think it's worth, paying £65 for it this year, so it's double the price. But because it's Nike, a lot of people will jump on it.
Mhm.
And it's all about the FOMO and missing out and getting a free T-shirt. But it's a
Oh,
taste.
you're probably aware of some of the guys out there, the men who are like so upset about the fact that it's not open to them.
Yeah, so that I'm all for women-only spaces.
Absolutely agree with you
Yeah,
there.
and but the men who are upset, they're
I'm
upset.
not upset by that.
You know, I
That's
know
not
the
what I
men who are
meant.
upset, they're upset getting a Nike freebie, not because they want to run 10K, because you can go out and run 10K now. Like anyone can run the 10K, especially if you've always done that. But because Nike have done it, people are jumping on board, and it's like it's not that big of a deal, guys. Obviously, don't get me wrong. If I got a free spot for it, I'm taking it.
Okay.
But I just think, like you said, like FOMO and all that. Like a lot of people are jumping on board. Lots of people have spoken to me about wanting to do the marathon, not realizing how much it takes, because all of it is FOMO because they see friends do it and all that sort. Even triathlons and Ironmans, and I was like, guys, this is like really big stuff.
Hmm.
Um, and but yeah, because they've got FOMO, they're willing willing to put themselves out there and not necessarily do the training. And if I haven't said it already, I'm really big on people should train.
Yeah, yeah.
Um, it's so important for your body. And you could take your time. You don't need to do things like I know I did 4 marathons in 1 year, but I don't obviously you shouldn't be doing that. But you could take your time.
Everyone's got their own different plans, their priorities and different circumstances, right? I mean, I guess you had the time on your hands to be able to focus on and fit that in. So
Yeah.
it worked for you, but that doesn't necessarily mean it's the default plan that someone else can follow through.
Yeah.
So if you were to change one thing about running that stands out to you the most, what would that be?
I think the one thing I would change would be I would want the other majors to be more inclusive. And when I say inclusive, I don't mean just about pace. I mean about representation, but also disability, mothers. I would love everybody to experience all the other majors too. And I think London is the most inclusive, and it's probably the reason why it's my favorite. Um, that's
Which is
one
why
of
you've
them.
run it twice as well, right?
Yes, yes. And I think the other thing I would want is I kind of want to take back like the social media side to it. I feel like we need to, you know, calm down with the going to a run and having to get a free t-shirt. Like I've gone to runs where people are filming themselves running for like 100 meters and then they stop, and then they post about it, and it's just like it's very deceiving. And I
Hmm.
want people to be in the running game for a long haul, and to enjoy running. Um, and the other thing I would want is more of our people leading. Obviously, I'm a leader outside. I'm a sports coach.
Yeah.
Next week I've got summer camp, and I'm doing running sessions for 13 to 16-year-olds. I want more people like me, particularly hijabi, particularly around running sessions and leading on them, and having more clubs. We're very lucky in London. We've got, Iffath, we've got Soul Striders, we've got others. It needs to be all across the UK. And the thing is, women themselves need to do it. Everything can't be handed to us. We need to take the initiative to do this for our own people, for our next generation.
That sounds good. And to be honest, I really hope that you're going to continue driving that forward and sharing that with others to kind of inspire them. And I mean, why should you have to pick up all the pressure of doing that, right? So the more support you can get, the better it can be. In fact, you recently had an event of your own. Do you want to tell us a bit about that and how it went?
Yes, I had my second Eid event. And for those listeners who don't know me, I am not a part of a brand. I am not a leader of any community. I'm part of every community. So the fact that I managed to do this single-handedly is a really big achievement. Last year, basically, I came up with the idea to do an Eid event because with Tracksmith, we always do like a Christmas one. And I was like, I'm not going to walk around in a Santa hat. So I had like tinsel on me and stuff. I was like, oh, let me do something for Eid. And I approached brands with it. Nobody wanted to do anything. So then I was like, I'm going to do it myself. So then I approached Muslim companies, Bengali businesses, LME, London Marathon event supported us. We had a great time. And I wasn't going to do it this year. And then I was like, I've made better contacts basically. And I was like,
why not go again?
Yeah, why not go again? And it was actually easier because I did it last time. I had the content, I had my report, I had how many attendees, I had the impact report. So this time when I did go to brands, they were more supportive because they've seen it happen, if they've seen it work. And more importantly, I just wanted to party. I wanted to Eid party. I wanted to bring the Muslim aspect, the female aspect, and I just wanted to party with my girls and have a space for us and conversations where it only can be like Muslim females. We had a panel, and like some of the questions we asked, it can't be for men, it can't be for non-Muslims. Like one of the questions I asked was to my panelists for how have their mahram supported them in their running. That's not something you hear in any other panels.
For our listeners who might not be aware, do you want to just elaborate that?
Yeah, so mahrams is family members, key male family members. And in our community, sometimes they can be the challenges, sometimes they can be really supportive. So I just wanted to hear from the women who are excelling in our running community, how their family members, their dads, their uncles, their brothers, their sons have supported them, because it takes a village in order to be able to even just train for a marathon.
Right, of course.
And so that Eid event was really lovely. My friend made a lovely cake. Yeah, I made little badges, which had like words like mashallah and alhamdulillah on it. And it's stuff like that I know people could connect with. Like, I remember I was running London Marathon and I saw a sign that said, mashallah sis, you got this, rather than there's a beer at the end of this.
Of course.
So, and it just makes such a big difference.
It does. You relate to it so much more.
Yeah.
It kind of hits home and just goes deep inside, doesn't it?
But yeah, we had a great event, and I had Muslim female photographers, and inshallah I can do it again next year.
Yeah, inshallah.
And I don't necessarily need it to be bigger and better. That's not my aim. I just want it to be a intimate affair, meaningful affair for the Muslim girls who do turn up. But yeah, it was great, and others were not doing it, so I was like, I'm going to do it myself.
And obviously, you showcased your medal at the time too, right? So what was everyone's reaction to see that?
Oh God, I think I showcased my medal for a whole month. Yeah, no, I showcased my medal. I also did like a mini gallery of Muslim women in London, the London running scene. Because it's not just obviously me, it's not just, the leaders of all our communities. There's so many Muslim women who run out there, and people are just unaware of them because they're not on social media. But these are like mothers, these are other like key workers who are doing their thing and running. So I did like a mini gallery, printed all their pictures, surrounded all of Unlimited, the shop floor that we used, who supported us, so we could highlight all these amazing Muslim women. I wore my medal the entire time because I was like, why not? I've got my 6-star medal. I have dreamt about that medal for such a long time. But But now I've got my friend gave me a little necklace with the 6 stars on it. So I wear that instead of the medal all the time. So yeah.
For one, it's much lighter, isn't it?
Yes, yeah.
If I was to recall a memory, I was at the expo this year, just the week running up to London 26. And I think you literally just got back from
Yeah.
Boston, like what, a few days before, a day before or something?
A day before, yeah.
But you know what? How inspirational I wasn't running this year, but I was just there to support and just check out the expo, right? But how inspirational must it have been for someone going for that marathon this year to see someone with that having achieved it already? Yeah, hats off to you for getting back and just making sure that you could make it, just to share that inspiration with everyone.
Yeah, no, it was really nice because like London Marathon is always going to be my favorite because had it not been such a great day, none of the others would have come into play. And I do love the expo. I do love cheering. I love everything about London Marathon. And so I was like, I definitely want to, come back and show everyone that this is what you guys could possibly get if you wanted to, and stuff. And if not, even just London Marathon experience itself is going to be amazing because people always get scared of like the wall and all sorts, but I've only got positive things to say. And so I just want people to have that same positive experience as me. But yeah, that day it was quite nice. My niece was there and she was like, oh, she's like, Auntie, you're a bit of a celebrity. And I was like, there's not many of our people who get these 6 stars,
True.
And I would like to think I've done it for those women who can't travel. There's a lot of us who are not allowed to travel.
Who are equally have the ability to,
yeah, exactly.
have the skill set too, right? But just can't make it, yeah.
And I'm blessed that, my parents allowed me to travel and stuff and really supportive. And like I've done it, like I'm from town hamlets where we're all Bengalis, we're in poverty. And the fact that I went all the way out to Boston and rubbed shoulders against all these other people and still got the same medal, is like it is such an accomplishment.
It is.
So I'm glad I could show it to everyone, because that's what you just need to see that someone can do it, and someone who looks like you can do it.
I'm sure they're all memorable, but if you were to run another one of your marathons again, which would that be and why? I mean, you've already touched on how important a place London has in your heart, but apart from that, if you were to run one of your majors again, which one would that be?
If I was going for a PB, and I had somebody gave me the bib for free and everything like that, I would definitely want to do Tokyo again. And the main reason being I loved it, but when I was there, I was on my period, and so I really struggled. But the crowds were amazing. I know people don't like the crowds, but I loved the crowds because I had my name in Japanese, so they were cheering for me. The charity did it for me, so they were like, "Oh, do this," and I was like, "Oh, that's so cute." But I definitely want to go back to Tokyo and try and PB, and experience Tokyo again because I just love like Japan. And yeah, I had such a great time there. But I would love to go there and not struggle with the actual one.
I bet. No, fingers crossed. You never know, that might happen.
Yeah.
Any plans on making it happen?
Not for Tokyo, no. But inshallah, I do have Cape Town next year.
Oh, sweet.
And I managed to persuade quite a few Muslim females to join me, mainly from Aswa. So there's a bunch of us going next year. So it should be a good time.
You never know, might bump into that since, let me just break it. I'm running Cape Town 2027. So.
Oh, that's so cool! Are you gonna go for a PB?
I don't know what I'm gonna go for at this point.
It is hilly. So come January, we just gotta start on the hills again.
Oh, okay, yeah. Let's. I'm hoping before January, but yeah, no. At least you've given me a peace of mind that I can wait till Jan if I have to. Last but not least, what makes you go again? And what is it about running that is so important to you?
So the main thing that makes me go again is the simple fact that like I can. Allah's blessed me. Like, my brother broke his ankle the other day. My little brother can't do exercise. My dad limps. So I feel like I'm exercising on behalf of everyone who can't. And when my mum was really ill, I'm just like, oh wow, like she can't do anything and I can, and I'm being lazy and sitting at home. I want to be the best version of myself by the time, inshallah, my kids come into my life. So that means being fit. So that's the main reason that I turn up and get out there. Alhamdulillah, I enjoy it. I'm really blessed. I do enjoy it. Don't get me wrong, the hard ones, I'm going to complain about the heat and everything, but I do enjoy running, and I'm just glad it's something for me. We're so, as Asians and probably other cultures, we're so used to being there for others, like being a good daughter first, as a wife and everything else. But this running is genuinely just for me. No one else is technically benefiting from it. It's me first, and if I end up inspiring others along the way, that's just a bonus.
Well done, and well said there. I have to say, thank you once again for coming forward, bringing all your experience. You've shared a lot, I'll be honest with you, some of which I wasn't aware of, and it's always an eye-opener. It's always nice to get a deep dive and an insight into what makes someone go the way they do. And we might perceive people differently at times too, right? There's a lot of challenges that you mentioned there that you've had to battle through, hopefully, and alhamdulillah that you've come out at the other end successful. You've got a lot to show for it, and the next mission seems to be just making sure everyone else is going along with you at the same time too. So well done, and finally, once again, congratulations.
Thank you for having me.
Look after yourself, and we'll definitely touch base again soon. Take care. Thanks everyone for joining us on Running 101. It was great to get an insight and finally have a catch up with Iffath on her experience so far. Take care, and we'll catch up again soon on another episode of Running 101.